Hey, what's up, y'all? So this is more movie news, but at the same time, I still thought it was relevant to the video game industry because there is this entire debate going on what's better, physical media or digital media. We all have a different opinions on it. Some are more pro digital, some are more pro physical. I am kind of in between. I understand the benefits of both, but I understand the downsides of both as well. Although if I had a choice, I'd lean towards physical media just a tad. I just love having it in my hands. And I just love that it's mine. No one can control it. Nobody can edit anything out. Nobody can take it away from me. But as I was saying, they both have their upsides and their downsides. For digital, the great thing is that it's very convenient. You have it all in one spot. You can't really lose it unless, and here's part of the downsides, I feel it's a way for companies to control us. For companies, they can control the media that we're consuming. If they want to edit something out, they can. If they want to take it away from it, they can't take it away from us, even if we technically bought it. For physical media, we have it in our hands. Nobody can take it away from us. However, it's not perfect. There are still some downsides. And one downside could be a deal breaker to some. And I'm going to read this part of article from Joe Blow right here. It turns out that virtually every Warner Bros. DVD disc manufacturer between 2006 and 2008 has succumbed to the dreaded laser rot, where discs simply would stop working due to a rotting of the lasers. Once it happens, it can't be undone. This was a freaking problem with Laserdisc back in the 80s and 90s, but it wasn't a huge problem with DVDs. The issue comes down to the way the discs were authored. Many of the titles affected, which range from the classics like The Wild Bunch and The Shawshank Redemption to TV classics like The Dukes of Hazzard, have been reissued on Blu-ray or digital HD. Some of the titles, such as many of the titles in the Looney Tunes collections and many of the golden age of Hollywood movies, have not, making them in a lot of cases lost media. So what can be done? Nothing. As stated in this retro blasting video, we had ticking time bombs in our hands, and the only way around the problem was to rip our faves to something like Plex, but it's too late for majority of the discs. Warner Brothers, of course, has yet to comment in this issue. People like me have thousands of worthless discs cluttering on our shelves. Here's the most anyway. Okay, so I guess then they kind of mentioned the different titles that kind of are affected by this. I kind of find it kind of interesting why it's just Warner Brothers. Is it not? It must be not just Warner Brothers. It's just the other companies as well. They did give an update right here. According to one of our readers, FilmFan89, WB will replace some of these discs if you contact them directly, with a catch. They will only replace discs that are currently in print, and sadly, many of the defective titles are not. I mean, that makes sense, right? They can't replace something that they're not printing out right now. Reach out to them through the WB store and keep us posted in the comments thread if they come through with the replacements. So yeah, this has been always a downside. We've always heard that there is a possibility that it could have disc rot or laser rot or whatever they call it, which makes the disc literally unplayable. So I'm going to scroll up to this. This is kind of like, I think this right here is kind of like an example of what laser disc rot looks like. So I have a few physical media, not as much as some. So I wanted to test it out myself. And thankfully, everything that I tested out, and I didn't watch the entire movie though, everything that I tested out so far works. So I got Little Big League. I love this movie. So I kind of checked it out. And look, there's a little bit, as you can see, a little bit of the laser disc rot. But I tested this out, and I guess this is not enough to work, but it tells me that it's probably going to die eventually, right? And that's kind of like the one downside of physical media. We bought physical media so we could have it forever. But with this laser disc rot, it clearly shows that we technically won't have it forever unless we rip it and we rip it from the DVD and keep the digital version, which is ironically the digital version on our computers, and then be able to upload it and stream it through Plex through our TVs, which always is an option. But this can tell us that if you have physical media collections, especially old physical media collections, to be prepared. You might want to consider ripping it right now. You might want to consider um, making backups of these discs, digital backups of these discs. Because in the end, even though it might seem like completely useless, our main method for doing it is to keep it forever. Because maybe this in a year will be useless, right? But if I rip the disc and for whatever reason Warner Brothers says, Voodoo, we want to, it's our movies, we want to take it away, and they do that. Let's say their contract expires or whatever, and they do that, and everybody who bought Warner Brothers movies on Voodoo gets taken away. And it was going to happen, as I was saying in the previous video, it was going to happen with Discovery. And Discovery, Warner Brothers now, no wait, Discovery owns Warner Brothers now. So it's unlikely, but it could happen. And even though it seems a little bit weird to make digital copies now of all your discs, at least Warner Brothers can't take that away. And even though maybe this will be completely useless soon, at least I still have it, and I could still look at the back and stuff like that. But yeah, I just thought this was kind of interesting. So maybe our old games is either currently useless because of this disc routing situation, or will eventually become useless. But what is your thoughts on this situation? Does this make you like maybe will be more toward digital now? Maybe it doesn't really matter. Maybe you still just like owning it, and you already have physical, digital backups of your movies and of your video games. Let me know what your comments and your thoughts on this down below. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.